Hi, I'm your host, Erika Polsinelli, and welcome to Evolve by Erika the Podcast, where we talk all things spirituality, ascension, health, wellness, and beyond. I'm so excited that you are here. Come on in. All right, today a really powerful message came through that I wanted to share here on the pod with all of you. So happy to be back for another solo episode. I feel like this message is so important. And this is the thing about energy and our frequency. Sometimes we can hear something and be like, yeah, I know that. And then all of a sudden, something clicks within us, and that's the embodiment. That is the holding of the frequency or the belief. And today, what I want to talk about is divine protection, divine redirection, and your present moment. Because I was walking yesterday, just in my neighborhood, like I always do, and I was thinking, I just got this flash, a visual of how in any moment, anything can happen. And accidents happen every single day. They just do. And we see them, we're witnesses to them. Sometimes we're involved in them. And how many times have we actually experienced this divine intervention and protection in order to keep us on our path and bring us to where we are right here and right now? I actually shared this story last night during a meditation, how I remember so vividly this one time that before I was into spirituality, before I was practicing in the way that I was, this is my early 20s, I was driving by my parents' house and I was stopping at a red light behind a whole line of cars. And as I was slowing down, I'm like, you know what? Let me not go right behind this car. Let me scooch over to the left just to make sure I have enough time to stop. And in my mind, I giggled at myself and I was like, oh, Erika, like you're being so overly cautious. This is so out of character for you. Like, you have enough space and time to stop behind this car. You're being a little dramatic. But something told me to move to the left. I did. I moved to the left. I stopped on the left side. And before I knew it, a car came speeding past me on my right and crashed into the car in front of me. And I sat there with my jaw dropped and was like, what the F just happened? And I was like, I made sure they were okay. They were calling the police. Everyone was fine, but it was a car accident. And I drove home and I remember being in absolute shock. And I'm like, if I tell anyone this story, like they're not going to understand the magnitude of what I just witnessed. Like I was shocked. Later that night, I would say like an hour and a half later, 2 hours later, I had to go back out. I drove past. They were still there finishing up the accident. Like things take time, So they were there. And I was just thinking like, that would have been me. That would have been my night. Something told me to move. I don't know what it was. I don't know who it was, but something within me told me to move. And for some reason, this came up yesterday as I was walking and I was thinking about all the moments of divine intervention and protection, the moments where we're out driving or we're multitasking and we're not paying complete attention. And there's something that supports us in those moments, and having the acknowledgement of that, it helps us to slow down and just be a little more present. So through this flash that I saw yesterday, I just started to feel such a deep appreciation to my guides, my spirit team, whoever. We all have guides. We all have angels or guides, whatever you want to call them, that are protecting us each and every day. They're with us. They could be our ancestors. They could be people we've never met before. They could be people who have passed away that we know. They could be our spirit babies that want to come in onto this earth, but they're acting as our guides right now before they come through. And we all have this team. And through our life, we're guided through their support, their protection, and their guidance. And I just felt this extreme gratitude in that moment yesterday, just reflecting on this and getting this flash of you've been divinely protected in many situations. And I was just downloaded in that moment with so much gratitude for that thought, how differently life can look just from a millisecond of a pause. Something's been trending recently on TikTok and maybe Instagram, and it's this burnt toast theory. And I think I'm getting it right. My friend told me about it, but it's the toast burning, you being late for work, and you're seeing this as such an inconvenience when really this was divine protection and redirection for you. And how many situations have we had like that where something inconvenient happens, we run late, or our plans get detoured, and we don't know what was really on the other side of that timeline because we didn't live that through. The detour came in, shifted our projection, and moved our trajectory in a different space. But how powerful is it to take a moment to think about the ways that we have been divinely guided, divinely protected, and sit in that with so much gratitude? And this is the thing about frequency, and this is why I'm so passionate, and I talk about it all the time, of increasing our frequency. Because on the days I'm vibing low, and my cortisol is high, and my Ezekiel toast burns in the toaster oven, I'm like, nothing's going right today. I could easily get frustrated. But on a day where I had a nice extensive morning practice, I did something that brought me joy. I taught a meditation. I connected with someone that just lit my soul on fire, and my toast burns. I'm like, my toast burned. Maybe that's not going to agree with my stomach today. Or maybe I'm supposed to make a new piece of toast. Maybe I'm supposed to be 5 minutes late. Maybe this inconvenience was supposed to happen to me. Everything we experience and how we perceive it is based on our frequency. And that's why I'm always so passionate and talk so much about our morning practice, because it's our number one way to get ahead of the energy, to raise the frequency so we can start to perceive in this higher frequency. Because when we do, less cortisol running through our body, our hormones are happier, our immune system is happier because we're in a calmer, more rested and receiving state. And then we can see life and the inconveniences of life as gifts, blessings, divine detours, rather than an inconvenience and something that made us late. But it's our frequency that's going to help us to perceive it as that. If our frequency is low, we'll be incapable of seeing things in that way. And that's just the way it is. So taking time, and if you feel guided to really think and just honor the ways you've been protected that you don't even know. And sometimes it's not burnt toast, because honestly, who the heck cares about burnt toast, right? Burnt toast is not that big of a deal. Sometimes it's bigger. Sometimes it's a relationship ending. Sometimes it is a loss in some way that you may be grieving. Sometimes it may be a job that you're released from, let go of, or you didn't get. I challenge you to ask yourself, ask your guides, how has this served me instead? I thought I knew what was best for me. I really wanted this, but how can I lean into the space that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be right here and right now, because of the things that didn't go my way, because of these divine detours and interventions that our guides, the universe, assisted with. And it can be hard, because when we have bigger losses, not just a piece of toast that's lost, we need to grieve. We need to move through the big emotions too, We're not just saying, "Ooh, how wonderful. I lost my job today." I'm joyous because I know the universe is protecting me. Honestly, there have been many people who I've spoken to that have felt that way. But guess what? More than one emotion can exist at the same exact time because we're multidimensional beings. So you can know that and you could be like, you know what? I've known that I've been needing to leave this job. I totally understand why I was let go because this is not my path. This is not the path meant for me. But holy shit, am I scared? Holy shit, am I upset? Am I going to miss my colleagues? Am I going to miss doing the work that I was doing? But with all of that, both can exist at the same time and it needs to. And how can we challenge ourselves to lean so much into trust and faith and be able to see some of this redirection as gifts and be in a space where we're able to just completely flow and trust? It's not easy. There's stages of it. But once we're able to heal and to move the emotions and then get into that state, there's so much abundance waiting for us on the other side. And this also brings me to the topic of presence and being completely present. So often in our lives, we are thinking about whether we're bringing things in from the past or we're thinking about where we want to be and where we want to go. We're always thinking about the next thing. If you knew the next manifest, the next blessing, the next miracle that you've been praying for is coming to your doorstep to meet you tomorrow, how would you act today? How would you live today? How would you be today? I recently have been going through a period of time where I've been yearning for something. And all of a sudden, I had this thought. One day, what I'm trying to manifest, what I'm bringing in, is going to be here. So wouldn't it be smart for me to love this version of me? For me to enjoy and bask in all of the incredible things that come with this version of me? Because one day it will all be different because we're ever changing, we're ever evolving. And when we manifest something into our life, our reality changes, whether it's an opportunity, an experience, a relationship, a new home, a child to bring into the world, whatever it may be. That's going to be, you are going to give birth to a whole new version of you with new habits and new places and new experiences that come along with that miracle and blessing. So how wonderful would it be to be completely present, love this current version of you and all that comes with it, all of the blessings that come with it, and just lean into that energy that by feeling that way, you're actually bringing that in more quickly and more efficiently because you're not creating resistance. You're being present. You're enjoying what's right in front of you. So you're feeling joy. You're giving off this high frequency energy of love and excitement. And from there, you attract. So those are some things that have been top of mind lately that I wanted to share here with you. And I want you to come back to it anytime you need a moment. And I also always want you to remember that there's stages to everything. When there's a great change or there's something we're trying to bring in, we may not immediately go into that higher frequency space, and that's okay. We have tools to help us move through big emotions so that we can bring ourselves to that state. We can work through those so that we can find an ounce of faith or ounce of trust in where we are right here and right now. But I want you to try your best to feel into that expansive energy of the knowing that you are exactly where you are meant to be right here and right now. Everything that's has happened to you has happened for you. And if you could feel into that And now you might say, well, that's great, but look at the challenges I'm presented with right now. How can you use the challenges to guide you through passion? How can you use the challenges to transmute them into wisdom and strength and use all of that energy as this propelling force forward? So you can journal on it, you can meditate on it, you can think about it. And like I said, be easy with yourself, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, because it's all a process depending on where you're at in this time of transition or in this time of just trying to trust and lean in to that space of faith. But I hope it challenges you, because that's how we grow and that's how we expand and evolve. I hope you enjoyed this message, and I hope to see you next time. If you enjoy these, I would love for you to share the episodes with anyone that you feel may resonate with the message. And you can also rate and review the podcast. It just helps the algorithm to connect us with other people that like to listen and chat about the things that we like to listen and chat about. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you so much love. Sat Nam.